Nice. Nice.
Today's going to be good.
Today's going to be fun. Today, I don't have anything special planned for you. So in 3, 2, 1, it's the Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 44. Shant, how you feeling tonight, big guy?
Good. Just get into it, man. Like, don't try to play a game or anything. Just get right into it, just like that, man. That's what the people want. It's the feedback I've been getting.
It's been about episode number 44 days since I've last shaved. How you doing, big guy? What's going on over there?
Not much, man. Just a lot of shit going on in the world, but we still got to come here and do our job of podcasting, if that's what you call it.
Full-time gig we got going on here.
Yeah.
Almost a year now we've been podcasting.
That's crazy.
Are you gonna get a cake?
So, yeah, it's gonna be geez. That's crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
We said just give it a year and see what happens.
Here we are. We got a whole nother year.
Just another year and see what happens.
Oh yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Do you guys want to see this keep going?
I don't know who you're asking. There's like 15, maybe 13 people at this point listening. And it's encouraging because we have been getting some people reaching out to us. What happened exactly? Did you get bored of me a couple days ago and put up a poll asking if somebody wants to be on our podcast? Are you trying to replace me?
I'm testing the waters of another co-host, I guess.
You didn't even want to keep it in the family? Just like ask other family members first? Like
Zorab or something?
Yeah, like somebody from the Jonathan clan, you know what I mean? But anyway, so before we dive into who responded, who you picked, I thought I might tell you about this latest audiobook I've been listening to. It's called Atomic Habits.
I heard a lot of good things about that. So
I really would love for you to read or listen to it because it's that good.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
I'm guessing it's about habits.
And atoms. No, it's not.
So give me like a quick synopsis or like summary. So this is great. So Joshua Smith, my mentor, right?
Yes.
You guys could YouTube him. He's a freak of nature, right? He always he's so fucking just laser focused in life, right? And he talks when people are like, "Oh, dude, you should read this book, you should listen to this podcast, you should watch this documentary." He gets that all the time, right? So he always flips it on people, and he's like, if they don't answer these 3 questions, I don't even fucking bother. He's like, "Oh, so you like this book? Yeah. Okay, so tell me 3 things that you really like about the book and 1 thing you're going to implement from the book." And people are like,
what the fuck?
Well, I don't remember. Okay, so it's not a good book, bro.
But you can't put them on the spot like that. Like, you got to give them a little bit more time. Like, all right, can I write you an email? Spend like maybe 15 minutes.
Let me go back and look at my notes.
Yeah, mentally, like sift through. But no, I give you a very, very brief synopsis. It tries to get you to make micro changes to your routines and your habits, whether they're bad habits, good habits, implementing slight changes that day by day, you start to get really, really great at perfecting good habits and getting rid of really bad habits.
Okay.
Right. And in the spirit of quitting smoking, quitting Diet Coke, starting to run, all that stuff, I guess I did it kind of ass backwards that I picked up the book after I started.
Well, that's good. Because usually if you get a book and you're not going to do it now, you've been doing it somewhat, right? Like you started and now it's like, okay, yeah, I'm fucking doing this.
Right. It puts it into a different perspective so that you can realign, I guess, if you ever fell off track. And you can get it back into it very quickly because you have some experience.
Yeah.
So definitely I want to encourage you, Shant, at least pick it up, check it out. You know what I mean? If I don't think you got any bad habits, but at the very least, perfecting.
I do.
Well,
I do. Yeah, we all do. Fuck. Well, yeah, I'm 2 books deep right now, so I have Phil Knight, the Nike book I'm listening to, which is pretty interesting. That's like a 12-hour, 13-hour book. So I got 10 hours left. And then I got another book, but that's a quick one. Let's see, it's the what do you call it? People are just like, dude, come on, get with it. The Richest Man in Babylon. It's like a 3-hour book. So once I get through those 2, that'll be on. I'll download it so I have it. It's on deck.
Okay. Yeah. So Phil Knight, I'll definitely check that out. Nike.
I'll give it to. Let me read it. Let me make sure it's good. It's good so far, but.
All right. So hopping back into that other into the topic at hand tonight, we're having a guest come on to the show. Shant had put up something on his Instagram story saying if anybody wants to hop on our podcast, and it seems as though we're going to have a few guests.
Yeah, we got them lined up. So as long as they don't flake, but
yeah, and actually the few people that actually reached out to me after I reposted the story were actually women as well. So
interesting.
Yeah, it seems as though we have a bigger attention from women because it's a podcast. I don't know why.
Guys are idiots. That's it.
Guys are pretty much stupid nowadays. So I guess we'll do you want to ask her? She's ready to come on, and in the meantime, I guess I can play some elevator music with my mouth.
You know, my business partner also reached out to me, so that'll be a good one, right? Because we'll talk about business partnerships, right? The bad and the good. You know, I'll talk about his bad stuff, and he'll talk about my good stuff. And
I can ask some really fucked up questions.
Yeah, like, all right, listen, like mute me and shit. Just like, hey, Sean,
what's the real? Who's controlling this whole thing? Who's getting robbed?
Yeah, no, this one's gonna be good, right? Because Christy's coming on, and she's in sales, and she's actually really good. Not actually, she's really good, man. Like during this COVID thing, and I'll let you she'll probably talk about it. She was like on it every day, social media posts, doing Zooms, doing webinars, I just kept like watching. It's like, geez, man, like she's attacking.
You think?
You know, so.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear from, because most of it's actually kind of funny too, because a couple other chicks I know have gotten their businesses going too during this whole COVID-19 thing.
Yeah.
It seems like you either came out of Corona a fucking beast, or you came out a little bitch. Like you hid. You were nowhere to be found.
I know a few of those people.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I'm kind of
this, like, and then, you know, this other girl that I know, she's in sales, Madison. She was fucking beasting too, man. Like they were just fucking attacking. It's like attacking the zone defense, man. Just attacking the gaps.
Well, I think it's kind of cool that we revisited like our like caveman tendencies during coronavirus, like survival tendencies, like getting out there and just fucking like.
But everyone did it, guys, girls, kids,
right.
Fucking my dog.
But not everybody went as hard.
No. And it's going to be interesting to hear her perspective on, you know, being a female in sales, you know, and kind of see the other side, because we see it as, you know, one side, right? We're two guys who have been in sales. You've been in sales for a long time.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even think you know, Shant, how long I've been in sales.
Yeah, how long has it been?
It's been like 12 years now.
Wow.
I've been in sales.
So how old are you? 20? Well, you're 30?
I'm 32. So sorry, 10 years now.
20 since 22. That's
Yeah.
good. All right, here she is. Hang on. That's impressive. We got to talk about that one day.
So yeah, how hold on for a second. Did you ever work at Circuit City?
Yeah.
You
No, but
worked at
I was in the front security, but
you
I
never
was
did
like,
sales.
no, but I was selling while I was there. I was like, this
Oh,
is
were
what
you?
I was just like, hey, this is come here. Let me show you some good cameras, fucking
Let me
TVs
show you
here.
this TV real quick.
Yeah.
Let me show
All
you
right,
this.
I'm gonna bring her on. But we've been talking a lot about sales lately. There she is.
Hey everyone! Can
Hey,
you see me?
Christy.
Hey,
How you going?
I'm great.
My cousin Ari, Christy.
How you
Hey,
doing, Christy? How's everything going over there? How's Arizona?
oh man, it's good. It's getting a little hot.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
How
yeah,
hot is hot?
well, I mean, we're not there yet. Actually, it's been nice the last couple nights, but we were at like 107. So
Yeah, it's
Jesus,
pretty brutal now.
that's an
Pretty brutal.
oven. That's not hot.
I know. Where are you at?
I'm in Boston. It's snowing here.
Oh my gosh.
It snows here year round.
So yeah, this is gonna be good. Christy, welcome. Thank you for Christy reached out through Instagram. We had to pull up because I got bored of Ari. We got nothing to talk about anymore. So
Well, I appreciate it. I'm so excited to be a part of this, and yeah, let's get to it. What do you want to talk about today?
Man, I'm excited. Christy, can you give me a rundown of what you do
Yes.
exactly?
Absolutely. So I am in the real estate space. I work on the lending side, and I help real estate agents increase their sales through relationship building and community involvement.
I see. Wow. So explain to me exactly. So say I'm a real estate agent,
Okay.
because this is huge, I think, for a lot of people that are trying to get into this space is how you can be in sales without exactly being in sales, like this inside sales thing, right?
Right. So kind of like being in sales without feeling totally salesy and that you're getting this huge pitch, right?
Right.
So I think that there has a lot to do with technique. And I also think I am a true believer in like all about being your authentic self and really coming, to the headline on the streets with like a really great vibe and energy, because that's what attracts people. At the end of the day, people do business with people they like and trust. I mean, I could be selling, I don't know, this cup here. I don't know.
Right.
It. I mean, and at the end of the day, people are going to want to buy this cup from me because they like me, and maybe 10 other people might be selling that same cup. So.
Right. So let me ask you this question, Christy. One question that I had in particular was a lot of guys that I know, maybe not necessarily they're in sales, but they sort of understand my frustrations because a lot of guys are in sales.
Yes, it's a man's world.
Well, I don't want to dive into that discussion too deep, right? But let's say, for instance, you got your friends, you got your close friends that you hang out with on the weekends and stuff like that, where they're talking about their jobs or their problems or whatever. Does it ever become an issue for you to be able to talk about your problems and they don't no idea what the hell you're even talking about?
Okay.
Like, do they also, are your friends in sales as well? Or it's always like you're the odd one out. You work in sales and they don't, type of a thing.
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So I've actually, over the years, I have become friends with a lot of the clients that I work with. So what's nice about that is it all goes hand to hand, and we're able to have a lot of conversations that all intermingle and work. I do have friends in a lot of other different industries too, and so what I like to do oftentimes is I love to get their feedback of like, hey, I know that you might not understand and know exactly what I do, but you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on Facebook. is my message clear? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I really try to position it in a way where I'm trying to get their feedback, and it's just helpful for me, and they're of course happy to do so. So instead of really talking about my struggles and stuff with sales with them, I take it, you know, in a kind of a different spin, and really just say, hey, you know, my last Instagram post, I love your like outsider feedback. Did that make sense? Because I know you're not in my space, like you're an outsider. Oh, what did you think about that? So
Nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in the real
And
estate.
sometimes they're like, Christy, I don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess when you're in the real estate business, you kind of like become just like intertwined with everybody, and
Yeah.
it's a gift and a curse. It's a curse too. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's so funny. I never really thought, I didn't understand really being able to be friends with a lot of the clients that you work with. My background is in finance. I was in finance for 11 years and on the wealth management side, and it was just a different caliber of style and stuff. And this is much more laid back and really true relationships. There's so much opportunity to be built there. And so I love that.
do you do better with men or women, Christy?
As far as
Sales.
in sales,
Yeah.
you know what? This is so interesting. So I'm kind of have that both type personality. I am analytical, but I also, you know, have the personality to be outgoing. And based on like my social media, I look at my analytics on Instagram. It's running about 50% female and 50% male actually follow me. But at the beginning of this journey, it was actually females, more so females. And so I've been doing a pretty gangbuster approach to my Instagram for probably the last 7 months, so it's changed. Mm-hmm. But to get back to your direct question, both. But you know what? I actually think that I found a really powerful network of women. So I find that a lot of people who support me and comment and like on all my stuff, they're females. And you know what? Over the years, I've learned a lot of lessons, and I take a very, you know, in my approach to sales, I have in a specific way that I make sure that I'm not giving the wrong impression to anyone. So I'm not sitting down as much anymore with someone who might think that they're going to date me versus, hey, like this is a business meeting.
Yeah, because let's talk, because guys are idiots, right? So let's talk about. So the reason why it's cool you're on for like our second guest technically is supposedly we have a lot of like female listeners, right? And some, you know, Ari's friends and stuff, they're all like entrepreneurs or business. So I think it's cool to get your aspect as far as like, you know, you say it's a man's world, and how do you deal with, because you know you're in sales and you're very outgoing, you're very energetic, you're very, not, I wouldn't say aggressive, but like you're putting a lot of shit out there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, like you said, some guys get the wrong impression because, you know, guys are guys. And so like what kind of tips or like how do you play that especially in the beginning, right? Because now you probably have it down lock, it's pretty simple, but like how in the beginning did you navigate that? Because trying to be a woman in sales and really like try to be taken seriously, even though you should be, and you are, but you know how it is.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of struggles in, you know, regards to this topic, and it's not overnight. This didn't just happen. Mm-hmm. You know, being in like the financial industry for, you know, a long time, I'm in sales with a lot of, you know, it's a male dominant field, and same thing with this. And so it's really qualifying your prospect, qualifying the person that you're going to have that meeting with. And with that said, so some tips that I would definitely give to females out there is I identify pretty right away. If someone sends a message to me, because like you said, I put stuff out there, I'm actually completely virtual now. You can go on my link, you can go and you can schedule a 30 or 60-minute consultation with me without me even doing anything. And so what I like to do is I like to reach out and say, hey, you know, I'm so excited that we're having a meeting together on this day and this time, and I just want to give you a little bit of an outline about, you know, what we're going to be discussing. And I'd love for you if you can put together some, you know, items for me, because I really want our conversation to be like, you know, like the meat and bones and stuff. So I'm really pretty direct because, and I'm not giving them homework or anything, but I'm really setting the stage. And this has really helped me weed out a lot of people, because some people will be like, oh, great, I thought I might just, I thought we, like, I could turn this conversation around and maybe ask her out and stuff. So
Yeah.
automatically it weeds it out even before I take that time to meet with them, drive all the way over wherever I'm at and have coffee, because you know what? My time is really valuable. And I don't really mess around with that. And I really feel like my energy and how I approach it, it's very clear.
Do you think that having a list of questions like that is very, very important, specifically for women, to structure their meetings around, just to make sure that they're being taken seriously? That's fucking aggressive. Holy shit. So wait a second. So before your meeting, I gotta go through like a to-do list, checklist type of thing. Like, do you have document number this? Are you fucking serious about doing business? Are you like, you got to go through a thing, is what you're saying.
But think about, so Chris, before you answer, think about, like, if you're sitting there, if someone asks me like, hey, okay, before we meet, do this, I'm just like, fuck, this person's legit. Like, you know, you start thinking, you're like, damn, this person is really, like, I'm going to have the privilege now to meet with her, right? Like, that's kind of, so yeah, sorry to cut you off, Christy.
Oh, it's okay. So yeah, so let's see, let's go back to what Ari said. So you're right. And let me talk about how I explain it. So I have actually the perfect example. I have a real estate agent that I reply to his stuff and whatever, because, you know, I want to have that meeting to sit down with him and really impress him, right? And so one time he posted something about food. I love food. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I thought to myself, it's been a long enough time. I said, oh my gosh, we should grab, you know, that food sometime, right? And then he's like, yeah, for sure. So when I actually then take the next step to do the follow-up and then say, hey, here's a good day and time, what I'll say is, hey, you know what? If you could be thinking about one thing that I could really help you with in your business right now, just think about that before we meet, because you know what? I'm going to actually plan and center some really good ideas around that topic when we meet.
That's really good. Because that just, and I'll let you jump in, Ari, that really just, sets the tone, like, hey, pump the brakes, like, this business. And secondly, like, come to the table with something so we could help you, right, Ari?
Yeah, of course, because sometimes, you know, especially over food and stuff, and I totally have no problem having conversations over food, and, you know, I do love that. But you know what, time can get away from us real quick, and I want to make sure, I don't ever want anyone to leave a meeting from me and thinking like, oh my gosh, that was like an hour and a half of, I don't know, we didn't get anything accomplished. I definitely want to check something off someone's list.
This is fucking insane. So
what, you blown up over there?
So hold on one second. I'm guessing that you this is like the second time that you're talking about ways that you're professionalizing the meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, Christy, all bullshit aside, have you ever come across, because I'm guaranteeing you, if I share this snippet on my Instagram, they will go on and listen. Has any guy ever tried to get you on a meeting and completely change the whole thing to like, so like, what are you all about? You see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell them how to kind of like avoid,
maneuver, get around it?
If you're in the meeting, like they took your questionnaire all seriously at first, but then they got there and just tossed it. So, hey, how you doing, Christy? What's up?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a firm believer in building rapport and trust. And while I might sound very aggressive right now and through all this, I do want to build rapport, and I think it's important to have conversations. I have no problem anyone asking me any questions, and so it's just about how you navigate and answer those questions, because you can be in control, right? You can make yourself be in control of it. So for example, I have had this happen. You sit down and then they're starting to want to say, oh, so I get this all the time. Wow, I'm so surprised you're not married. And I said, oh, okay. All right. I don't know what to say, you know? And then they say, yeah, why aren't you married? And I said, you know what? Um, I'll say, it's just, it's not really something that, everyone has their own time,
Yeah.
and I just maybe haven't found the one. And then I'll kind of, I like to also rebuttal and say, what about you? Are you married? Do you have a family? And they always do. Yeah, I do. I have a family and I'm married. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Do you have any pictures of your kids? I would love to see them.
So yeah,
Oh, fucking awkward, man. Holy
yeah,
shit.
like guys just need to be better at life, I think. Just
Yeah.
sometimes like they're just so like just keep business to business, because yeah, I don't even know what to say, because that's just
So I get into some situations here where like, okay, like I'll usually get women in their 40s and 50s that I'm helping out. Sometimes they're sent on these missions from their husbands because their husbands don't want to take care of it, or their husbands are never around, and all of a sudden I'm getting flirted with. I'm 32. I got
Okay.
40, 50-year-olds sometimes doing it to me, and they're like, oh, what, are you married, or this or that? So I deal with the reverse.
Okay.
And I have to lie sometimes and tell them, yeah, I got a girlfriend. Things are getting kind of serious, because I don't want shit to get awkward.
Yeah. Okay. I understand.
Right? So I deal with it in a way that, like, listen, I gotta lie. I gotta lie sometimes and tell them I have a girlfriend, because I'm not gonna sit there and play the game with them. Like, oh yeah, like you do it and you do it very honestly. I have to sit there and actually bullshit that I have something going on, because I'm about to ruin the thing, because this is
Right.
professional. I don't want to make it like, I'm not into you. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't want to buy anything from you anymore. I'm sorry.
so Chris,
Well,
yeah,
let's talk about that thing, the thing that you're talking about, because guess what? This is what I believe in, and I think it can be really powerful. Is at the beginning stages of a sale, if they want something that I am not selling, the relationship is never going to go through all the stages of the sale in the
yeah,
way that I want it to. So I much rather say, yeah, I much rather say, you know what, yeah, I'd love to have this client, man, but you know what, it's not.
Not working.
never going to lead to a sale, right? It's going to
Yeah,
just
it's never going to, and I'm gonna always have to be like,
navigating.
navigating through it. And you know what, at the end of the day, I want people to appreciate the resources that I provide, and hopefully, and in hopes that I align myself with potential real estate agents that are like, Christy, like, I really like what you have to offer and I want to work with you. And then if they don't and they're trying to just get something else, then it's just not going to work. I'm not going to keep them around just to try to get that sale. There's way too many great clients out there for me to be wasting my time with that.
And that must be tough, sorry, in the
Oh,
beginning. You're like starting out, right? Because like in any kind of thing, like even a real estate agent, like we become just like so what's the word that I'm looking for, needy, right? Because we need something, right? So it's like we just reach for anything. So like for a new woman in sales, and if someone's coming across like an idiot, it's like you just have to put your foot down, even in the beginning, which is hard. I'm sure it is, because you want the sales, you don't know it, you just want something. So it's tough, but like that's cool because you're more upfront. You're like you're kind of direct. Me and Ari are too nice. We're gonna try to like lie ourselves out of it because we
I
just
have to tell them I got a girlfriend. Like, I don't want anybody getting a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, that's okay. And if it works for you, and that's what I always,
That's smart though, because like they're never gonna lead to a sale. So like why keep entertaining it?
yeah.
I gotta tell you one thing though, Christy. This whole template thing, it's gold. If you had a questionnaire that you give to customers every time, I'm probably gonna implement some sort of questionnaire before my conversations. Now, a little bit in depth. Sorry to cut you off, by the way. I had to tell you that's genius, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that when, it's like sometimes I always look at sales. How I look at sales is how I want to be treated. So let's say I go in, like in my head, I've saved up all this money, I'm ready to buy a new car. So I go to the dealership and I'm like, I'm there to do business. I'm looking for a car. Then I got a salesperson who's trying to like you know, make me feel good and like, but he's not giving me the best value. I'm there like, so now I would be like, yeah, hey, I want to talk to your top salesperson, someone that knows the most about cars. These are the 3 different cars that I have in mind, and I need to choose from them. So I need someone who's really knowledgeable. So, then that being said, I get a salesperson who's like, can read what I want, which is value, and try to make a decision to have the sale, versus someone who's just like trying to make, like, so, I kind of always look at it in that perspective too, if that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean. The salesperson's coming there and he's going through his bullshit sales process and he's not getting to it. He just
Yeah.
like, let's go, let's do it. Let's get down to business. Why did you just give the car example though? Do you know I'm in cars? I'm in
No,
cars.
I don't. No, I was just.
All right.
Can't even tell her
That's
what
perfect.
to do.
Are you? What do you do in cars? Are you in sales?
No. I'm on the other side. So I help buyers buy.
Oh.
He's like a broker.
I'm a broker.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah. So, it's all about reading your audience too. And it's like trying to identify, what you're really looking for. And I would love to go back to what Shant was talking about. Like, hey, let's just think about, like, you're in this new role, you have to produce all these numbers, and you're like, great, I'm going to take any appointment I can, of course, because I am kind of, I can't be picky.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to try to get something on the books. And so, in my position, so I've been with Fairway it's been almost 3 years now. And so I can definitely, let's talk about that. Like, that was a struggle. This was a new industry for me. I didn't know anyone. And yeah, I was like, okay, I need to get appointments on the books, and I need to get to an appointment so that I can say, okay, well, I had an agent, we had a meeting. And so that can be, in that respect. But, I really turned it around and used it in the regard that, okay, if I can get the meeting, that's half the battle. Then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to allow for that time to practice, because practice allows you to always become better. So I always was like, I looked at it from that way. Okay, well, I'm not trying to close the sale. I need to practice. I need to practice what I'm going to be saying. So that's how I looked at it. And I wasn't so focused on just the sale and trying to earn their business. That stuff came over time. And then, because when you solidify a really great, if you want to call it dialogue or whatever you do in your first meeting, that builds confidence. And with confidence, I don't think you take any bullshit. You don't.
No.
You say bye. Hey, if this isn't about business, because this is, we're in a business meeting, I don't think that we have it.
Yeah, we've talked about this in previous episodes, where it's like your tolerance for bullshit just goes less and less as you grow, and as like you do more sales, you do whatever in business, and it's like we've talked about. Sorry, like you just become just less tolerant to bullshit. You don't even respond to people anymore. You're just like, I don't care, dude. I have too much.
And I think that you just become, in hopes, it's not about being like, oh, I'm too good for you. It's about really aligning what I always really believe that the message that you give out, the vibe you give out, the energy you give out, that's what is reciprocated to you. That's who you're going to attract. And yeah, every once in a while you attract some other people, but if you can really focus on that, I think it really helps.
So, Ari, you have something to end off with?
Looking at me all crazy.
No, because I wanted to switch gears real quick, but if you had something to say, Ari.
Switch the gear.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about, real quick, and we could end on this in a little bit. You, during, this whole COVID situation, I was telling Ari before you got on, you went like, because, I follow you, we see each other's stuff. You went like hyper aggressive, right? In a good way, not like you went fucking all in, and you were like social media, you were doing like a lot of Zoom stuff. I saw a lot of webinars. So like, what made you switch and say like, okay, I'm going to go harder now, when a lot of people kind of step back during that time?
So I think it might be a little bit of a personality thing. I do very well under pressure and in not the greatest circumstances. That's where I really shine. It's just something that I've learned from myself. I
Yeah.
like, so a great analogy I like to probably, this is a good analogy. So I love to run. I'm a long distance runner. And whenever I used to train for half marathons and stuff, it's like slow and steady wins the race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't just go all out like in the first 5 miles when you're doing, 12 plus miles. You have to pace yourself, right? And so I always create a very conservative strategy for myself that I know I can maintain. And that's what I've done for myself for a long time, up until this pandemic. Now, of course, I wasn't planning for the pandemic.
Yeah.
I never want to overpromise and underdeliver. So when this pandemic hit, I was actually driving. I was in my car, and believe it or not, I was in a suit, and I was like, we had a meeting to close a very big account. And I get a phone call while I'm driving, and they're like, hey, you know what? This meeting's actually canceled. A lot of stuff's going on, and we're not going to be doing this in person. It's going to have to be rescheduled. And I'm like, so it hit me, and this was at the very beginning. I want to say this was like at the March 13th-ish or so.
Okay. Yeah. That's when it kind of,
At the very beginning. So it hit me on a level of, oh my gosh, it affected me from a business standpoint. So I had to turn my car around. I live in Anthem. I was going all the way to Scottsdale. And I turned my car around, and I'm like, all right, Christy, I'm like thinking, you know what? I'm going to plan for worst case scenario. I'm going to plan that this is how it's going to be for a while. What the heck am I going to do? I'm in sales. I'm not on the field, I want to say 90 to 95% of the time. What the heck am I going to do? And so it took me, I want to say it took about a week. And I was just, just kind of just embrace, like, just trying to figure out everything that was going on. And it came to me. And so I said, you know what? What do I love to do? I love people. I love the community. I've built so many relationships. You know what everyone needs right now? Everyone needs each other. Everyone needs to still feel a community when all of this stuff is going on. And while, I guess in some ways I can be considered like a millennial, I've had a lot of struggles. Like I actually never had an Instagram account before I had this job. So that was 3 years ago. And so what I'm trying to say is that, the only limits that you put on yourself is you, right? So I was like, okay, like I want to do this virtual thing, and I want to connect people. I don't know how, but you know what? I'm going to figure it out. So I reached out to someone I knew, and I was like, hey, like, I guess I can get a Zoom account through my corporate. So I got that, and I'm like, I don't know how to use this. So called up my friend, and we went through it. I'm like, can we go live on Facebook? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, how? So he told me. So I'm all about, like, if I don't know something, I have no problem asking.
Yeah. I'm
never I'm not that person that says, oh, like, I know it all. It's like, if I don't know something, I just want to learn it. And so if whoever's willing to help me, I'm always want to reciprocate, but I'm going to take them up on their offer to help me. So I did that. I made a plan, and kind of from what you were talking about, I was going live. I had lined up speakers. I did three times a week, and I did I did it for about 4 or 5 weeks. And then I thought, okay, well, it was a lot getting all those speakers and helping them. And a lot of these people some of them didn't know how to do it either. So I was teaching them and everything, but I was like, you know what, to me, I was like, this is how I chose to stay in front of my people and provide some good stuff. It wasn't all about real estate. I got local business owners and just stuff to take our mind off of it. And then I took 2 weeks off after that, because I was like, okay, this isn't going to be enough. I'm like, I can't, at some point, it's like 3 times a week, people are going to get kind of tired of this. So I was like, I need to switch it up. So took 2 weeks off to figure out what I was really going to do. And then I narrowed it down to now I'm just doing 1 speaker a week. And then I implemented my whole going virtual, which is like my virtual campaign that I created.
That's pretty awesome and impressive. Ari, I mean, well, first off, that's sick. You run. Ari just started running. He does about a mile a day. What are you doing? A mile, 2 miles a day?
I squeeze out about like a couple 100 feet at the very least.
Hey, that's all it takes. Just a little bit at a
I
time.
start somewhere.
Foot by
Yeah.
foot. And we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. So
What do you think, Christy, is the biggest thing you learned about yourself during coronavirus and like doing what you're doing?
yeah,
What came out of it for you?
yeah. I learned so much, and I'm still learning a lot. So what I would say is I'm very controlling. I'm controlling. I'm impatient. Um, and I learned those things about
Sounds like
myself.
somebody I know.
Well, well, everyone would tell me that, you're like, yeah, like, yeah, but really, I took it a step further and I said, okay, I can be controlling. How can I take those qualities and make sure that I'm using them in the best way I can? Well, being controlling can also be a good thing because you can be a driver and you can be like, you can take the lead, right? And I saw it and I viewed it as, you know what, I'm going to spin this around and I'm going to like, I want to be a thought leader in my industry. So I tried not to attach the negative connotations to some of the words that I was feeling. And then like same thing, impatient, like I was trying to learn Canva and I was like so impatient about it. And I was like, wow, when in a fast-paced environment, I can't believe all these people put up with me because I was probably just like, oh, go do it, go do this, like go do that. So the next thing being is that I am even more grateful and I have so much more like, I've taken a lot of steps back. So I operate on a pretty high level and I'm running around a lot. And so what I've really identified is that I needed to take a couple steps back to get a couple steps forward.
Awesome. That's good that like you kind of realized something, because a lot of people would have said, "Oh, I realized I'm awesome at this." You kind of went like, I'm. You need some things to work on, which we all do, right? So we're running out of time because I guess there's a Zoom version, and our broke selves don't have that version, so we only got a couple of minutes.
Is new. Remaining meeting time 7 minutes.
Yeah, I was just seeing that. So we got a couple minutes. If people want to go follow you, Christy, or kind of ask you a question or check out your Instagram because you're busy on there, you're posting a lot, you're doing a lot, where can they find you or wherever you want to be found?
Yes, absolutely. So on Instagram, which is kind of my main platform right now, and where I do most of my activity, just like you said. Let me see, it's Homebuyer Empire, but I'm trying to.
I see it, Homebuyer _Empire.
Yeah, Homebuyer _Empire.
Nice.
So yeah, I hope that everyone has their own like spin of things. Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, you say so much stuff. It's like, I don't even want to read all that. So I'm like, it's okay. You'll find people who appreciate that. And if the value is there, they will catch on and start reading. So I encourage, if you guys think my posts are too long, I always love the feedback. And that's the thing, is don't ever be shy to give me feedback because that's how you grow. So if you are new to coming on my page and you want to provide me feedback, I am open arms with that. And also, just so you know, I'm totally, I love interaction, and so I hope to get to know you guys. Anyone who does want to follow me, I'm really want to be interactive and really get to know you guys on a personal level. So I will be there to answer any questions. Happy to.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christy, for jumping on last minute.
Yeah, I'm all about that. It's perfect for my personality. Not enough time to prepare and then just be myself. And so I loved that. And I just loved how you were like, this is kind of like no crap. This isn't a motivational thing. It's like the struggles, because the struggles create the opportunities, and people don't talk about the struggles. And that's where all the juice is. That's where it's all. That's where we find everything. So thanks so much for having me. And Ari, it was great to meet you. And now that I know you're in the car business, well, that's good for me to know. I'll have to find. Are you on Instagram?
I'll send you my. I just followed you on Insta.
Okay.
I'll send you my my credentials after. But Christy, I want to tell you, I see a lot of people in sales, guys, girls. Your mindset is something I have never seen before. So I think that you'll eventually get to a point where you'll probably lead your industry if you haven't started to do so already. So I'm very, very happy for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Those are very kind words. And I've worked really hard on myself. I've worked very hard, like on myself as far as, personal growth and development. So that goes a long way for me. So thank you.
Yeah, I hope
Thanks.
you kill it.
Christy.
You're killing it.
We'll chat soon. We'll let you know when this is up.
Next time. All right. Thanks again for having me, guys.
Bye.
All right. See ya.
Okay, Ari. So,
Hey,
got 3 minutes.
that's it. That's all.
That was good.
Yeah, she's nice. I like Christy. That's
Very
crazy, man. That pamphlet, that checklist that she gives. That's crazy.
You're gonna have to pay her for that advice, probably.
Well, I hope any girl that's in sales and like looks, you know what I mean, is a good looking.
Yeah, it's
girl.
clutch, man. It kind of makes someone be like, "Oh shit, this is actually all business."
Well, at least they can implement this. I don't need to implement a checklist.
No. Like, well, it'd be good just for in general, like weeding out prospects.
True. Like let's make sure this conversation's like staying very serious. But for her, it's a dual purpose type of thing.
Yeah.
Like the conversation is not only staying serious, but like you're not gonna get me out on a date.
Yeah. It's like we're here to work and make money, buddy.
Right. Good for her, man.
No, that was awesome, man. She was glad she hopped on.
I was kind of worried. I thought she was gonna not. She thought she was gonna put me to sleep.
No, because it's late for you, right?
It was very, very good. I'll try to make sure my my guest doesn't put anybody to sleep. I hope not.
Yeah, you gotta coach her up. Is she gonna come on next week?
We'll find out in a couple of days, I guess. I haven't asked yet because I still haven't responded to her DM. She sent me some inspirational shit. So
okay, yeah, that'll be good. My business partner, like I said, wants to come on.
Yeah, we could do that next week.
Yeah,
but anyway,
yeah,
it's all good stuff.
Yeah, this one was good. That's all I got. That's it.
Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.